5 Amazing Metal Detector Discoveries. Hand of Faith. This is the biggest gold nugget that has ever been discovered with a metal detector and weighs over 27 kilograms. This valuable treasure was found by Kevin Hiller in the year 1980 and it was discovered near Kingawa, which is a small town in Victoria, Australia. Also, it's intriguing to know that the record still stands, even after so many years. Kevin sold the Hand of Faith to the Golden Nugget Casino, which is located in Las Vegas, and guess how much he sold that nugget for? $1.1 million. Today, this huge and impressive nugget is on display in the casino. It must be really fascinating to see a chunk of pure gold placed in a casino, but the set of events that led to its discovery is even more fascinating. So, Kevin had dreamt about a gold nugget that is unusually shaped. He dreamt about that nugget 2 weeks prior to the discovery of the Hand of Faith. He drew that shape on a piece of paper, and the nugget he found with the help of a metal detector was exactly the same shape. That is why this big chunk of the gold nugget was named the Hand of Faith. The Escrick Ring. Found in 2009 by a metal detectorist named Michael Greenhorn, the Escrick Ring is 90% pure gold with glass and polished sapphire. The ring was found near Escrick, England, and that's why it is named Escrick. This ring is estimated to date back to the 5th or probably 6th century, and no one knows the actual owner of the ring. Another factor that is unknown about the ring is what it represented when it was created. The current owner of this ring purchased it from the Yorkshire Museum for $44,132. There is a possibility that this ring might have donned the finger of a king. Staffordshire Hoard. A metal detector enthusiast named Terry Herbert was really lucky. One day, he asked his friend who was a farmer if he could scan his field just to find a few coins. He agreed, and within a few days, he had discovered more than 10 pounds of treasure. For obvious reasons, this piqued the interest of local archaeologists and they decided to investigate the field themselves. More than 4,000 fragments of 7th century artifacts were found by the archaeologists, and after piecing all the fragments together, they had hundreds of completed items. The treasure mostly consisted of things related to battle, like sword decorations and helmets. 2 crosses and an engraved Bible verse was also discovered, and these 3 pieces were the only non-marital pieces. The archaeologists were unsure about why this hoard was buried. It was speculated and assumed that these artifacts might have been captured during battles and it was buried to keep the loot safe. Another theory is that the hoard represented an offering to the gods. This was believed because quite a few objects were bent or broken, and this was a custom of German tribes as they would break or bend the weapon before they buried them. The reason is they believed by breaking the weapons they would be sent to the gods in the spirit world. This was the most extensive collection of Anglo-Saxon gold and silver metalwork ever found, and this hoard was purchased by the local museums for $5.3 million. The Aunslave Cross. Dennis Fabricius Holm, an amateur archaeologist, found a well-preserved 1.6 inches tall Aunslave cross near eastern Funen in Denmark. The cross dated back to the first half of the 10th century and indicated that the Danes might have adopted Christianity a bit earlier than the researchers and the experts initially thought. Dennis' friends convinced him to take the cross to a museum for evaluation. If they wouldn't have persuaded him, this discovery would have remained unknown. Turned out, the Aunslave cross was the oldest crucifix ever discovered in this Scandinavian country. Stirling Talks. The only reason David Booth started using a metal detector was to get some fresh air. And the first time he used his metal detector, he unearthed gold. How do people end up being so lucky? We could really use a bit of luck. Jokes aside. David discovered 4 torques or necklaces 6 inches beneath the ground, and according to the historians, this was one of the most important hoards that were ever found in Scotland. After analyzing, it was found that all the torques were made between 300 and 100 BC. An interesting and quite unusual thing about this discovery was that multiple designs were represented in the find. Two of the talks discovered were of Scottish style, one was French style and one was Mediterranean style. The historians were particularly intrigued with the Mediterranean style talk as it was the first talk that combined two different styles. It was found that the talk was made by a smith who learned his business in the Mediterranean and then tried fusing it with the local Scottish style. This discovery displayed that Scottish tribes were more connected with each other and also the other Iron Age people in Europe than the historians originally thought. The talks were purchased by the National Museums of Scotland for $570,061.